Welcome to Dark Horizon Creations. I'm Mike. This time we're taking a look at the special edition Glow in the Dark series Xenomorph Warrior action figure by Lanard Toys. Now, if you hadn't already, please follow, like, and subscribe to my social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get a notification of when I post new content. Well, I'm excited to bring you guys this review. This is actually the first figure that I have purchased within the Lanard Toys Alien collection. And you know, I've seen these action figures on the shelves of area Walmarts over the past few years, but honestly, I never had a desire to really buy one. So when I was in my local Walmart earlier this week, I came across this action figure on the toy aisle, and immediately I recognized that it was new due to the change in the box art and the different color of the figure. And I grabbed it, and I'm really happy that I did because it's given me a new line of figures to collect. So to begin, let's talk about the packaging for this action figure. Looking at the package art, this is entirely new for Series 2. They've changed the color on the box. You have the Xenomorph drone on the left in a full color drawing, which is very reminiscent of the thermal imaging that the Predator would see them as. In the lower left, you've got the face hugger tag and the Xenomorph banner at the bottom, glow in the dark tag on the right. In the upper right, it says Special Edition Glow in the Dark Series, and that is for Series 2, and the Alien Collection banner in the upper left. On the back of the packaging, you've got your obligatory product shots. In the center, you see the Xenomorph Warrior and the face hugger in the transparent canister. On the right, you see the inset images of the Xenomorph Warrior, the drone, and the runner in Series 2. In the upper right, there is a really cool addition to this packaging, and I think this was also on Series 1. It says, "Get to know your pet Xenomorph." And it shows you the life cycle of this species: the egg, the face hugger, the chest burster, the runner, the soldier, which comprises both the drone, the warrior, and the praetorian, and then the queen. At the top left, it says, "Prepare yourself, the universe trembles. Calling all colonial marines, get ready to gear up and take on the most fearsome creatures to inhabit planet LV-426 and beyond in an epic space battle. The dreaded xenomorphs have multiplied in vast numbers, threatening the lives that inhabit space colonies reaching to the far ends of the universe. Gather your crew to take on, fight, and eradicate the ever-growing numbers of these terrifying aliens." All right, here we have the Xenomorph Warrior outside of the packaging. And my first impressions of this action figure are based around two things: the articulation and the attention to detail. This figure has a lot of detail sculpted into it all the way around. You know, look at his neck and throat area, his ribs, his lower abdomen, his arms, of course his head, his back, his tail, his legs. It's all the way around, even on his feet and his shins there. There's a lot of attention to detail with this figure. And as far as articulation, his head will swivel left and right. His jaw will open and close. His inner jaw is molded in, it doesn't come out. He has forward and lateral movement there at the shoulder, bicep rotation, single jointed elbow with elbow rotation. He has wrist swivel, and there's really no pivot here. If you pivot it too far, it will pop off, but you can pop his hand back on. His torso is on a ball joint to give him a full range of motion. He has forward and lateral movement at the thigh, which is limited, and limited thigh rotation, as you can see there. Single jointed knee, no lower leg rotation, but his foot will rotate and it will pivot slightly, forward and laterally. And of course, his tail will swivel left and right. So again, a full range of motion with his action figure, and you can see as far as posability is concerned, that he is extremely stable. Living in South Carolina and looking at this action figure, it just dawned on me. I wonder if this is what people have mistaken as the Lizard Man down in Lee County. I wonder if what they came across was actually a green xenomorph living in the swamp. I need to go down there and check this out for myself. Moving on to the face hugger. You can see the transparent canister, the plastic that substitutes glass, is tinted green. You've got molded gray plastic for the base and for the top of the canister, and it just pops off. And your face hugger comes out like this. He's got some nice molded detail on the top side of him, on his tail there, and on each of his limbs. Some molded detail on the bottom, particularly this section that goes across the mouth of the victim. And he does glow in the dark. Now, Lanard Toys does not produce a set of Colonial Marine action figures in scale to the aliens. But Action Force does have figures in scale to the aliens. This is the 1/12 scale Action Force Republic Guard action figure by Valiverse. If you don't know anything about these action figures, you need to go to Valiverse.com as soon as you get through watching this video. Check out the story behind these characters, pick up these action figures, pick up the comics, and become a part of the action. So what I want to do now is I want to remove the face hugger again. And I want to demonstrate for all of you children out there exactly how this thing operates. So when it detects a suitable living host nearby, it will leap out of the egg, latch onto the victim's face, like so, and it will wrap its tail around the victim's throat, just like this. And the tip of the tail will puncture the victim's throat and deposit the embryo inside their chest. And what happens to the victim is they pass out. And they either wake up with a dead face hugger on their face, or they wake up not remembering what happened. And within a few hours, they get indigestion, and a chest burster bursts out of their rib cage or their gut. And the living host dies. And the little chest burster will run off and grow up to become a xenomorph warrior. So now you can go back to school and tell your teacher that you've had a lesson in xenobiology. Now, for those of you curious about the scale of the action figure, let's bring out a tape measure and let's measure him. And he stands approximately 6 7/8 of an inch tall, just shy of 7 inches. So we've seen what the xenomorph warrior looks like compared to a 6-foot human. Now let's see what he looks like compared to a 7-foot Yautja, or as you know it, Predator. This is the Lanard Toys Series 1 City Hunter Predator action figure. And no, it doesn't look like this. I repainted this action figure. This looks awesome together. The Predator, the Alien, and the Action Force action figure. This is really cool. I do like this. Now, last but not least, I want to talk about the glow-in-the-dark feature of the face hugger. So what I'm going to do is use a flashlight to illuminate the phosphors and the paint on the face hugger. And then we're going to turn out the lights and see if it will glow in the dark. Yes, it does. And you can see it really glows in the dark. That is really awesome. I do like that. That is cool. Overall, I think these are awesome action figures. Again, the accessories, the articulation, the attention to detail, the entire sculpt of this figure is just awesome. Now, if you're a parent, I want to take just a moment and speak specifically to you, and I'm going to bring out the Predator action figure, bring him back out so I can address this. Lanard Toys has designed and painted these action figures in such a way to be less intimidating and less menacing for younger collectors. When you look at other manufacturers of Alien and Predator figures like NECA, you'll see that they're extremely gruesome, hyper realistic, and they can be frightening to a younger collector or fan. These won't be. And on most of the Predator collection figures, the mask is not removable. Now, there is the Jungle Hunter Predator in Series 2 that has the removable mask, but the rest of them, to my knowledge, their mask does not come off. Neither do the ones in Series 1, like the figure in front of you. So the figures are intentionally designed this way because the company is aware that younger collectors and fans are going to want these toys and want to play with them, but they don't want them to be frightened by them. So I wanted to take a moment and pause and point that out for those of you who are parents, so that that's something for you to consider when looking at these toys and trying to decide if your kids should have them or if they should not have them. For the adult collectors and fans out there, I'd recommend adding them to your collection. They are well worth the cost at $9.87 here in the US at Walmart. They're super articulated, super detailed, super posable, very stable, as you see here. And they all include some accessory in the package. And since their release, both the Aliens collection as well as the Predator collection have become wildly popular with collectors and fans the world over. So there you have the Series 2 Xenomorph Warrior action figure by Lanard Toys.